y'all. Got the plates in place for the hood. Got all the pins in it. Just as a mock-up. Now what I'm going to do is pull all my pins out from the tops, the fronts, and I'm going to start working on this, getting this bonded in and patched up here. So here's got to be patched, here's got to be patched. This I'm going to address because that started to crack. And then this here, and then the one on the other side I'm going to address. And then a couple other small little places, and then I'm going to sand the whole hood. Get a lot of this paint cracking out, sand it down, and we'll be good to go. Alright, today to patch this hood, in a couple places that I showed earlier, I'm going to use Bondo glass. It's a short strand Forstmann fiberglass filler. Go ahead and open this up, mix up a batch, start filling it in. This is the 2-pound can. It's not the large one, only need a little bit. Maybe at a later time we'll touch up the fenders and stuff like that. Or we'll just wait until someone knocks them off and then we'll put new fenders on. Alright, I went ahead and took my pizza pan and basically my scraper. Went ahead and applied some heavy coats to it where some of the holes were and some of the cracks. This one, I can tell this one here is going to give me some issues. Once all this dries, this was the very small, just the top was coming up. This was another small hairline crack. This was the very large crack. That was a hole that needed to be patched. So that's coming out good. This stuff dries pretty quick. So the second batch, I put a little less hardener in it because it dried literally within 10 seconds. And then this is the other side. I just patched the whole corner because it was a little damaged. So once this dries, the top of it, I'm going to flip the hood over and go ahead and pull my duct tape off. I put duct tape on the back of the hood as a backing, so when I'm applying the fiberglass, the filler, it doesn't bleed through. So once the top dries, I'll flip it over, pull the duct tape, apply another coat to the back of it, and then we'll carefully, once all that's dry, take it outside and we'll go ahead and sand through all the added fiberglass to it, sand the whole thing down, and then we'll throw it under paint. Okay, so it's went ahead and dried, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my duct tape. You see it's already hard. So if I can, I'm going to go ahead and pull my duct tape off of the panel, and then I will, don't move, and I will go ahead and epoxy the back side of it. And see, that's the hole I patched from the outside. And you see it's already started to bleed through and harden up, so that's good. Pull that back a little bit. So that one's off. This is the outer layer here, which again, the corners just pull right off, which is nice. So makes it easier to work with. I like easy. And the top panel here. And a lot of the pieces that are coming off are the ones that didn't really have any holes or anything like that. So that's good. So pull this back patch panel up. Okay. And you see I applied it from the outside on the top here. Okay. And it's already bled through the backside here, but I'm going to go ahead and put another coat on the backside here for all of these just because I don't want to have to do this again. And this hood has been patched before. The original owner has patched this hood. So what I'm doing is I'm just patching it again, because until this hood gets bowed up or literally wrecked, I don't plan on changing it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a crack from the other side and the old fiber that was there, but we're going to go ahead. It's already been cleaned up, so we're going to go ahead and throw another coat on it and see what we got. Pretty impressed with this stuff. I'm just taking some 80 grit to knock off some of the heavy stuff and I'll bring it back down. It's actually coming out fairly good. I spent more time on the rear section here, but it's coming out pretty good. Got the air compressor on the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going, hitting this with the 80 grit, and then at the end we'll hit it with some lighter paper and smooth out the whole hood, and then we'll start shooting it. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it a day today. Got the hood fixed, patched, all sanded down. The hood pins are in place. the hood profile. Got a little gap on the left side, so I'll probably lower that hood pin down a little bit. But all nice and smoothed out. That Bondo stuff actually worked pretty good. Same thing with this one. I have to move this pin down. It's kind of up on the body here, so I'll move that down a little bit so it puts tension on the side of the hood. There's my duck in. Yeah, pretty happy with that Bondo stuff. Came out pretty good. I'm not going for a super show finish on this, but just enough to where it looks decent, you know. But left side fits better than the right side, but got the hood pins on and all that, and everything's smoothed out, ready to go. And we're probably just going to shoot some matte black left over from the Sprint car on the hood, and then we'll take the grill out, rematte the grill and all that. There's the duckings. My sheet metal sponsor went ahead and put the ducks in for us. Actually, I probably should have showed you that while I had the hood off. But yeah, ducking all the way in. I call them big mouths. So I don't know if we can see it through here or not. Okay, yeah. They come through. I still got to paint them black. Come through the front bumper, run all the way up over the top, and they come out right where the brake rotor is on both sides. But that's it for today. Sanded it, prepped it, get ready for paint, then we'll shoot it hopefully tomorrow, and the hood section will be done. Thanks for watching. Alright, just going through a couple of the rules today. Went ahead and mounted my box and screwed that all down. Got to clean up a little bit of the metal shavings. But just went through, made a checklist of everything that I needed to check on the truck as far as rules. So, like my wheelbase, I went ahead, both sides, I'm allowed it has to be 108 inches. Wheelbase, ½ inch each side difference, which I'm dead on, maybe a 1/16 off. Tread width 64, front and rear, I'm good. Minimum for the upper A-arms, lengthwise is 10 1/4, I'm good on that. Body ground clearance is 4 inches, I'm good on that, I'm right at 4. Max nose width is 81. My nose width is actually 79, so it's a lot narrower than what they allow, but the series itself is, I believe, 79. The local tracks are 81. Side opening for the windows has to be a minimum of 16 inches. I have plenty. I'm like 22 and 22, so I'm good there. Hood cut 2.5 by 20 for the ducking for the air box. I'm 2.5 by 18, so I'm good there. Rear deck height. Okay, deck height, I mean from the ground up to the top of the deck, has to be 40 inches, exactly 40 inches. Air cleaner, it's got to be 14-inch diameter by 4-inch tall required. I have that, I'm good. That's all measured up. Minimum 3-inch exhaust clearance. I probably have the highest clearance of anyone. It runs up inside my frame, so I'm good there. Let's see if I can show it. And I come up, and then I come down. I got plenty of room for exhaust clearance, so that's good. Let's see what else here. Engine centered between the frame rails. That hurt. So I've got exactly the same measurement on each side of the frame rails. I'm good on that as far as the engine being centered in the frame. Crankshaft height from the ground, and I did most of these measurements. Most all these measurements have been done on concrete. I know I'm in the grass, but it's been done on concrete, so it's accurate. So the next one is 12 inches from the ground to the center of the crankshaft, which I'm exactly at 12, so we're good there. Let's see, crankshaft 4 inches. Okay, so the Chevy motors, per my engine, Chevy motors at #1 plug must be 4 inches forward of the ball joint. So from the center of the ball joint forward, 4 inches from #1 plug. So I measure from #1 plug over to 4 inches. I'm good there. Okay, truck must weigh 2,800 pounds with 57% left side weight. We will get that done.
we'll have to scale it for that. Roll bar padding for the driver. That is in there. I just gotta add a couple more pieces, but yes, there is padding in for the driver. Side panel, that's gotta be hung back up. But then the other rule, weights must be painted white with the truck number on it, and the weight must be mounted with a minimum of 1/2-inch bolts with lock nuts. So I'm actually going to remove this weight and I'm going to remount it farther on the left side of the truck. So this is the weight that's in there now. It's just a chunk of lead wrapped around the box. So it's got clamps up top and it's got 1/2-inch bolts at the bottom, but I'm going to relocate that lead and transfer it over to the left rear and then bolt it underneath, get it as low as I can. But as far as rules, I believe that's it. Everything else is legal on the truck. I would like to change my fuel cell, put a newer updated one. This one has a bladder in it. It's a good cell. It holds water. The cell actually holds water, not inside but outside. As far as inside, I think that's it. I've got all my fire extinguishers and stuff. I explained that in the other video. So there's my mounts. I've got to do one adjustment to the other mount, but there's the box. That's where the box will sit. So if you're sitting in this truck, my head's usually about here. So that's what you'll see out of the truck. And we got to clean the windshield. Here, I put new studs on the truck. At one point, all the duckings have been installed. Guy that does my bodies, he's come over and went ahead and took care of the ducking for me. I still got to paint it and all that. Comes out. Had a little tire rub issue, but comes out, goes over to the caliper. Went ahead and changed the alternator bolt. All that's good. Only thing I have to change now is I've got to put a new thermostat switch in for the engine at 230 degree. Because before I had a 250 degree. So I'd rather not have that. I'd rather have the 230. But other than that though, just going through the rule book, trying to get things done and ready for when we go to the track. We're waiting for one more practice, and if everything goes good in practice, we're going to do lap times, and if we're making mid-pack lap times, then we'll go ahead and race. But if we're not making at least mid-pack lap times, ain't no sense in racing yet. We got to work on it and adjust it. So I don't like running in the back. I never have. I've either always been a mid-pack car or higher in the ranks. I don't like running in the back. Last is not good, in my opinion. But as long as we're having fun. Other than that though, as far as an update on the truck, that's it. As far as the Sprint, we have that in the works. That'll be coming up soon for the Sprint. As far as an update on that, that's going to be nice. Oh yeah, shocks. Another thing I forgot about shocks. $225 claim rule. Can't run more than $225 shocks. It's got all brand new Pro shocks around it, all the way around it. Only one mount on the bottom of the lower control arm. Can't have dual mounts, which is nice. It keeps the class affordable. Keeps you from spending, you know, $5 grand, $8 grand on shocks, which you can do easy. I'm really surprised I have anyone that watches my videos, because I'm all over the place with my videos. I don't stay with the subject. I jump around all over the place. I shouldn't do that, but unfortunately I do. Because I never plan to make a video. I just record a bunch of stuff. Half of it I don't ever post it. But I had pulled the hose, put a new sensor in there, the wiring and all that for it. Here's the carburetor. Probably gonna need a new one. We're gonna run this one for now. I'm waiting for a sponsor to get back to me on carburetor. What else? Oh, wiring. Went ahead and took care of the wiring. Get my master on. So I just got to rivet this back up and we'll be good to go. So new sensor in, panel lighting. Okay, see there's a blue light here, 3 LED, and there's the oil pressure. So the reason for this is right in front of me. Okay, if I lose oil pressure, boom, light comes on. Okay, it's got a 5 psi oil pressure light in it. So while I'm racing, I'd rather have the blue light connected to my oil pressure, because this will blind me. Not necessarily blind me, but it'll come on and I can't miss it. I'd rather save a motor for low oil pressure. You know, I could always do, you know, if it overheats, I could always do head gaskets. You know, that ain't nothing. But if I scatter a motor apart because it's got a little oil pressure, that's a little bit more of a bigger deal. So, and all that is just a street warning lamp, like you'd see on like a cop car or something like that, but it's blue. So it's wired into the power and ground side on the switch side of the switch there for the oil pressure, and the switch is on the back side of the gauge panel. So lighting on, and it does have a delay, which I'm fine with, but yeah, that'll blink when it gets below a certain pressure. This light will actually flash or blink. I have a ground wire. When I ground this out, it'll change the pattern of it. But that's it for that. So all the gauges are working, all the temperatures, the lights, the backlighting, all that works. It's got all new bulbs and everything like that, so should be good to go. Alright guys, got some cutters, got some zip ties, got the car harness. We're going to go ahead and put the car harness wired into the truck and get that going, secure it, and then run it up by the headrest here for the plug-in. We'll install that. Okay, we got the car harness installed now. So, we got the PTT, push to talk button for the radios. Okay, comes off of there, wraps the steering wheel, comes over to a clamp off the dash for my connection there, runs down. I'll get another clamp to secure that. Comes up. Okay, there's my split, the input and the output. And there's my radio connection. Just plugs into the two-way, and that'll go right there in that box. Runs all the way around. It's tied up where the fire extinguisher is. The other harness comes around here. This is the driver's output and input. So you plug your helmet in here, and I'll put a hard mount here so it doesn't move. So right now it's just zip tied in there. But other than that though, that's it. The reason why I have the radio box over here is because I like to adjust the radio. If I need to change a channel, I can do it while I'm in the car. I don't have to reach around behind my shoulder and do it blindly. At least here I can pull the radio out, look at it, put it back in. You know, same thing if it goes dead or something like that. I can get another radio put in. Compared to this box over here, it's just not doable. But that's it for the harness side of the car. As far as the radio, easy install, mostly clamps and zip ties. All right, since we have the harness installed, I'm going to go ahead and test it. Make sure when I installed it, nothing moved or nothing got cut or shorted or anything like that. So I've got my driver piece, which is an older set. I've got another set that's going to go in the helmet. Radio, the headset with radio and connection. So this is just a rugged radio headset. So what I'm going to do is install it. I'll put you by here, and we'll check it both ways and make sure it works all properly. Okay, so we're all plugged in. I got the driver's piece plugged in, which this is going to be wired in the helmet, and then that's just your plug in here. Radio is plugged in on the opposite side of the truck. Plugged in there, on, and my PTT button. So I'll put you there and we'll test it real quick.
Driver check, 1, 2, 3. Driver check, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Harness art test. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test, test, test. Now, a lot of these components are mixed components. Some are rugged radios, but the car harness and the helmet kit itself is racing electronics. So it is a name brand setup. It should be clear. Now the radios are not digital, they are analog. So it is pretty clear for being an analog system. So our thing is just making sure we can hear. Part of the reason I'm changing the helmet kit is because as far as the kit coming into the helmet, it only comes into one ear. I need both ears to hear. Especially in the loud vehicles like this. So other than that though, I think this is pretty much all working. The button on the steering wheel, all that works, so I think we're good to go. Also, I forgot to mention, what's cool about this too is I'll be able to splice the audio in from the radios on both ends. And basically put them with the GoPro footage so you guys can hear exactly what's going on with me inside the car as well as the crew on the pits. Different issues, stuff like that. So it'll add to a little bit more of the content in the videos, I'm hoping. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to add the track feed or not. on. I'm sure we can. But if anything, it'll just be spotter audio along with driver. So